Hi, this is Michael at TV Radio 1972, and recently I did an unboxing and demonstration of the Radiwow R-108 PLL World Band receiver. It's an FM, medium wave, shortwave, long wave, airband DSP radio with 500 memory presets. I bought this radio for $49.98 at the time from Amazon. It is still available at Amazon now at $51.98 as of the recording of this video. What came with the radio, I'll show you. It came with the external antenna here. It also came with a USB cable here. You need to put a wall charger here and plug this in to the wall and charge it that way. Or you can use a phone charger to charge this radio. And you put the charge here. You can use that to charge your radio. And it also comes with an operational manual here. And a thank you note from Radiwow right here. Now, it doesn't have a warranty paper enclosed here, but if you have questions, you can always contact them at either Skype, email, or web at radiwow.com. Now, the dimensions on this radio. A 1/4-inch speaker right here. It has a length of about 5 inches, a height of about 2 7/8 of an inch, and a depth of 1 1/8 of an inch with a 19-inch antenna. Now, I'll show you the front of the radio here. You can pause and read that. But I'll show you a few of the features anyway. For example, if you press and hold the 4 button, you can set the stepping at either 9 or 10K stepping, depending on where you are. I'm in the United States, so I use 10K stepping for medium wave. The long wave, press and hold that. You can either turn on or off the long wave. I'll have it on for this video. And then the FM setting, you press and hold that, and it'll take you to 4 different choices of bands, either 87.5 to 108, 76 to 90, 87 to 108, and 64 to 108. I have it 87.5 to 108 because that's the United States. And also over here, you have your alarm here, your time here. You can set the alarm and time here. And here you can turn on or off your button beeps. I prefer it off. Press and hold here. And then your display. Single press, you have your temperature and alarm. Press and hold and you lock and unlock the radio. And then there's a screen here. Shows the time here. It's 5:39 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where I am. And there's also an icon here, but I think it's going to be very hard to see with the alarm. But I think I single press it. Yeah, you have a hard time seeing it. But right below the timer, right here, is a speaker for the radio. If you single press again, that's the bell icon here. I'm going to have to wait till this dims in order for you to see it right here. That's a bell, so you can either wake up to the radio or the alarm. But I'll turn that off right here. So what I'm going to do right now is turn on the radio. And we'll start with the airband. Now I have some presets here.
Hello, departure United 1810 Heavy with you.
So the airband works pretty well.
Hello, departure United 1810 Heavy with you, leveling at 2500.
I've used this radio many times, and the airband works well. I've posted a couple videos on that already, including the squelch feature.
310 or better, Delta 896.
I've set about 15 frequencies.
On our current flight plan, we would like to go direct to our destination, Kilo, November Hotel Kilo, and we'd like to put altitude of 340 on our flight.
Alligator Sierra, fly heading 180 now for vectors Alice 21 right, Alaska 1005.
It's about 16 of them. So that's a bit of the airband quickly. It does pretty well with this antenna. I like the results of this on the airband. Now I'll go to the next band. Now, what I'm going to do is use ATS to store some frequencies, which is the auto-tuning storage. And it scrolls pretty good. It scans pretty quickly. But you can also browse through the various bands using these, pressing and holding these two buttons. But for this demonstration, I'm going to use the ATS. Here it is. Oh, I'm not in memory mode. That's one thing I have to do. I have to press this button, the VM, VF button, to go through the memories.
You, Aisha.
Thank you.
2000. Text.
Throw up some roadblocks.
Solo minutos, regreso con más música. I did not know that your last name was originally Leibowitz. And when...
Well, is now.
He's heard that 1,000 times from him in practice, so
Looking forward to seeing you.
the award-winning Geico mobile app.
But breezy, high about 48 degrees. Sun will be out on Sunday as well. Temperature about 55 degrees. Sunday looks good. Right now, 49. WQXR is supported by the New York City Transitional Finance Authority. Now,
For you, PJs.
It's workable, the auto-tuning storage, but I prefer Texan's ETM storage instead. They tend to do a better job with this, but this does a pretty good job. It may not get some of the weaker stations to store in, but it does pretty well to me. And I'm going to try a distance station as well, 101.5, just to see. Because when you manually tune it, you can actually get some weaker distance stations out of this. It does pretty well.
Lives of these kids and their families, and unlike national organizations, the Ashley Lauren Foundation is an independent New Jersey-based nonprofit that actually works hands-on.
WKXW, Trenton, New Jersey, 101.5.
Community at large, in order to provide immediate relief for the daily burdens put upon those who are battling to offer, and then some. And Stepping Stones members are free. Details, WeBe108.com. And WeBe108 Connecticut Traffic 95. Okay, you're doing all right.
And that's WEBE, WeBe108, Westport, Connecticut. So it gets its distance stations, between 40, 50, 60 miles. So FM is very good on this. And what else? Oh, the stereo. I wanted to show you the stereo function, but I gotta do it on a talk station.
Did that come out of the blue, or did you invite him to the wedding?
You press and hold this.
No, you know, we have
Press this and you get your stereo.
In Michelle, but I got to tell you, you know,
well,
growing up in Miami.
This is a better frequency. 101.1. Their music station, they're airing in stereo. But you can turn on and off the stereo whenever you want by pressing this button. So that is all for the FM. Long wave is next, but I don't get anything on long wave. But I just wanted to show you it. Now, fast tuning is 3 kilohertz stepping, and slow is 1 kilohertz stepping, or you could just stop it completely. Now, on the FM dial, I'm going to go back to the FM dial here, because I never showed you the FM dial's step tuning. Here it is. You got fast tuning here, 0.1 megahertz, or slow tuning at 0.01 megahertz. It has kind of a mute on tuning, slightly, but it's fine. See, a little slight mute on tuning. So I just wanted to show you that. Or you can press again to stop it. But you never get much on long wave, so I'm not even going to go through the band. I just wanted to show you. It goes to 150 to 450. Now the next band is AM. Now, there is a slight issue with the AM band. A slight issue because the reception, I got to put the display. There's your temperature display here. Your signal noise ratio here. Now, the AM reception degrades a little when you go through the bands. However, if you turn off the radio and turn it back on, you see the reception gets better. So that's something I gotta tell you about. So there's a slight issue with the AM in that department. But right now I'm going to do an ATS scan of the AM to see what stations they'll store in. Now, we're around the critical hours time of the day. So there is a possibility you could start getting some further stations during those critical hours, which is usually 2 hours before sunrise and 2 hours. 2 hours after sunrise and 2 hours before sunset. So, and I believe we're at about that time, at least where I am. It's about 5:49 p.m. now. But I'll show you the stations I got on the AM scan. WBWD, Islip, New York, 51 miles. Now I'm going to go to memory mode, which is VM.
Nothing wrong with that, by the way. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's very possible, Mike, and they have a
Zoom.com, LegalZoom.com.
WNYH, Huntington, New York, 39 miles. Now, I'm going to show you the bandwidth function right here. I have it set at 3, but this is 2. 1. So it's 6 kilohertz, 4 kilohertz, 3 kilohertz, 2 kilohertz, 1 kilohertz. I'll put on 4 for now.
In both directions, westbound, we're heavy from the Verrazano Bridge out.
Physical copy of the mom.
The forecast for Monday, high near 50.
And we midway through
Shut off the lights and told her. He said, I've always...
Walker. This in your mind.
Well,
There's a semi-local here, WFAS, White Plains, New York, 24 miles.
And at this level, you're so darn competitive.
Now, when you pull in, drive up, then drive off, it's easy. Target run and done. Restrictions may apply.
You can make the same boring en la cruz.
Ahora, pero
la única emisora latina dedicada.
A lottery ticket for last.
呢個套裝3件。
6 to 5%.
It does get distant stations, but you mostly have to manually tune that. So I'm gonna get off of memory mode. And fast tuning is 10 kilohertz in the US. Press it again, you get slow tuning of 1 kilohertz, or you can just completely stop the tuning right there. But I wanted to demonstrate one more station that the ATS didn't get, and that's 910. That is WRKL, New City, New York, which is a Polish language radio station. And what I like about this radio, it reacts pretty well to a loop antenna. I have a Radio Shack loop here. I'll take the loop off. You see what I mean? It reacts very well with a loop, so it does well. I mean, the reception does pretty well day and night, so I have no problems with this radio. It's just the ATS and Browns tuning may miss some of those more weaker stations. That's why I like to manually tune, and that's why I love that this knob is here. Like, this is WKDM Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is 82 miles away, because around critical hours I can get this station pretty good. So it does well on AM, and I post a few videos on that as well. Now the next band will be Shortwave. What I'm going to do is connect an antenna, the Cato T1 wire antenna here, and I'm going to use ATS to see what is on the shortwave dial at this time of day. And the thing about both the browsing and the ATS, it only goes through the number of through the frequencies within a band. It's not going to pick up stations that are located outside of a band. One example is WTWW 5.085. That's a station that is outside these meter bands, and I have to manually tune that station in order to listen to it. That's a common station I'll listen to often because it has music a few hours on most nights. So you're not going to get every frequency out there. I have a number of frequencies stored in already. So it will pick up strong to decent signals mainly. Let me see what else it'll scroll through. Right now, we're maybe about halfway through the bands right now. And speaking of shortwave conditions, shortwave conditions have been pretty good the past day or two. The solar flux index has been in the upper 70s to even 80, which is unheard of, at least in the past months. And I only started getting back into shortwave last year, so after getting away from it for a while, and this renewed interest in shortwave that I have, it's really opened my eyes to back to this world of shortwave. So I'm enjoying right now. Last night, for example, I got WWV on both 2.5 and 5 megahertz. I mean, 2.5 megahertz for WWV in my area is pretty much unheard of. It's unheard of. And I was able to get, I got 5 megahertz pretty good last night too. So, even the shortwave conditions at night have been pretty good. Despite it was raining last night where I was, it still did well. And right now there's a couple more bands I have to scroll through. Right now we have the 13 and 11 meter bands still to scroll. Although, I don't think I'll find anything on those frequencies at this time of day. And I think it's about done. And by the way, the shortwave frequencies are 1711 to 29999. So it covers the entire shortwave spectrum, even though this radio does not have single sideband. Now, I'll go to frequency mode. Yeah, with this antenna, I get some AM bleed through. These are AM stations on that lower part of the dial. It doesn't pick it up with just the antenna, but if I hook a wire like this, it'll pick it up. So the real band scanning starts at 5940.
I've realized as I've checked the posters and stuff. And it actually impeded him from portraying Freddie Mercury.
WBCQ, Monticello, Maine.
Have another edition of the Eagle-Eye.
Lies. Amen.
WWCR, Nashville, Tennessee.
Challenging
WRMI, Okeechobee, Florida. Has some music right now. WTWW, Lebanon, Tennessee.
Yeah. Mundo moderno. Y hasta aquí mi comentario. Muchas gracias.
Radio Exterior de España. WRMI, Okeechobee, but it's rather weak right now.
Última hora de transmisión en este viernes 22 de marzo.
Radio Nacional de Amazonia. I think that's how they pronounce in Portuguese, but I don't speak Portuguese. That's from Brazil.
El 28 de abril se celebran las elecciones. Aunque vivas en el extranjero, puedes votar en las elecciones generales. Si figuras en el censo electoral de residentes ausentes,
En esta segunda hora tendrán un nuevo tiempo dedicado a los deportes.
And that is it for the shortwave. I like this radio a lot. I like the fact that you can browse using these buttons here. I'm going to get off of memory mode right now. I press and hold, and it'll scroll through the bands. I'm going to take off the antenna because I'm going to get all that bleed through. And that usually happens within especially 2.3 to about 2.5. Now I'm going to hook it again. And since this is the browse feature right here, you press and hold this button Oh, I wanted to see if I could get WWV on any of these frequencies. Oh yeah, there's WWV. Coming very well. No, I'm not getting on 15, but I'm getting it on 10. See, if you press memory while it browses, you can store it in right there. You don't have to press it twice. So, overall, my final thoughts on this radio, I like this radio a lot. It's very user-friendly to me. And, there's a lot of good, for example, the FM band, the air band, even the air band, even the AM band or medium wave band is pretty good. And shortwave does well if you hook an external wire to it. Now, my only issue, the only minor issues I have is the ATS tuning. I don't think it does as well as the Texan ETM memory system there. So it's not quite at that level. And the fact that when I change bands, if I tune into an AM station, change from one band to the AM band, the reception degrades, which that is kind of an issue for me. A little bit, not huge, but it's a minor issue. And it's those two little things that really keep me from rating this a 9. But my final rating for this Radiwow R-108 is an 8.8 out of 10. I hope you enjoyed this review. Have a good weekend, everyone, and God bless. Bye-bye.